All right, so welcome everyone. I think you all know me. My name's Allison, and we are going to get started with some breath work and yoga nidra. And yeah, let's do this. So, if you haven't already taken the time, or if you didn't have enough time to get settled, take the time now. Right? Take some time, dim the lights if that's possible. Even dark, like go for darkness, no lights if it's possible, or just candlelight. If you have an eye pillow, have that close up by. You might want to use the eye pillow for yoga nidra. You might also want to use it for breath work. For breath work, you can be seated or lying down. If you tend to fall asleep during the breath work and you miss all of the yoga nidra, then maybe do the breath work seated. But if you want the extra time to sleep, then just go ahead and lie down as well. It's all good. One of the things that's nice about the yoga nidra practice is you receive the benefit whether or not you fall asleep or if you're awake, right? The meditation just kind of works its way without any effort into the subconscious mind. And that's really where we're working. So it doesn't matter if you're awake or if you're asleep. What matters most is just that you're comfortable. Once you have created a comfortable position for yourself and you have set up the environment around you so that it's conducive to rest and stillness, you can then clue the body, clue in to the practice of stillness and the breath. Tune into oneself, simply resting your eyes. So the eyelids might close, downward gaze of the eyes, and then softening all the muscles around the eyes, right? Around the eyebrows, corners of the eyes, the flesh on the cheekbones and the temples. Relax the jaw. You might even feel for unhinging the jaw, especially if your jaw gets a little tight, a little tense. Relax the back of the throat. And just feel for arriving. Resting the eyes, beginning to observe the breath. So we always begin with allowing breath to show up as it is, allowing oneself to show up as you are, and simply observing without judgment, just taking note. Notice the rhythm, the tempo of the breath. You might even notice if you're breathing through the nose or the mouth. Notice what it feels like to transition from your day into this moment here, resting your eyes, observing the breath. And then if you haven't already, and if it's possible, I know people are getting colds this time of year, but if it's possible to begin to breathe through the nostrils, you can begin the practice of nostril breathing. It's one way of slowing down the breath without any effort. Just breathing through the nose, it takes more time for the breath to reach the lungs. It takes more time for the breath to empty out of the lungs as we breathe through the nose. It's a longer distance, nose to lungs and lungs to nose. Continue to observe the breath. Sense the breath as you breathe through the nostrils, and just notice what you feel at the tip of the nose, center of the nostrils. Notice if the air that you're breathing in feels warm or cool. Notice if the air feels different when you inhale and when you exhale. And then notice how the rhythm of the breath begins to shift as you take more time slowing down the breath by breathing through the nostrils. You might also begin to sense the nostrils slightly flaring on the inhale, softening, or even slightly constricting on the exhale. Notice what you feel at the nostrils as you breathe in and as you exhale. Continue to breathe through the nose. Begin to shift your attention to the belly and begin to feel yourself breathing through the nose from the belly. As we breathe from the belly, the breath remains natural and restful, but notice how the breath begins to respond. Breathing more fully from the belly is another way of naturally slowing down the breath. As you breathe from the belly, the inhale reaches a little deeper into the base of the lungs. So it takes a little more time to fill the lungs. And as you exhale, you're exhaling from the base of the lungs. So again, it takes a little more time to empty the breath. Breathing in and out of the nose from the belly. Allowing breath to remain natural and effortless. But feeling for slower, deeper breaths. Simply by focusing on breathing through the nose from the belly. And then we're going to introduce one more technique here. So nostril breathing from the belly. We've been experimenting with this technique over the last few weeks. And this technique is to very lightly, very gently constrict the back of the throat, beginning to engage your whisper muscles so that you feel for breathing in through the nose from the belly, moving the breath up and down the back of the throat. And it creates sort of like a ha sound to the breath, a whispering sound to the breath. And if you're having trouble accessing this technique, you might just breathe in through the nose from the belly and then open the mouth and exhale. So an audible exhale from the back of the throat. Again, breathing in through the nose from the belly. And open the mouth, making a ha sound as you exhale and empty the breath. Play with another round or two of breathing in through the nose from the belly, making the ha sound as you exhale. Once you have it with the mouth open, feel for making the ha sound with the mouth closed. In through the nose, from the belly, exhaling from the back of the throat. And then simply allow for a big, deep cleansing breath. Breathe in. Stretch your lungs fully. Stretch your rib cage, stretch the belly, stretch the moment. Pause at the top, open the mouth, and let it all go. Maybe with a sound. And then a couple of natural breaths. And we'll do it again. Deep cleansing breath in through the nose from the belly. You're stretching out the breath. Stretching out the moment through the breath. Take a little pause at the top. Open the mouth, let it go. Follow with a few more natural breaths. And then a third and final round. In through the nose from the belly. Feel the breath at the back of the throat. Open the mouth. And then natural, restful breath. And then we're going to return to another practice that we did last week, Dirga, 3-part inhale. And Dirga means prolonged. So we're going to prolong the inhale by concentrating on three components to the inhale. Okay. And you can do this through the nose from the belly via the back of the throat. So by constricting the back of the throat, not only do you slow the breath down, but you have a little more control over the rhythm of the breath, the tempo. So just take a natural breath in, a natural breath out. And then feel for a 3-part inhale through the nose from the belly. Fill the belly and pause. Inhale another 2/3, stretching your rib cage. Pause there. And then complete the inhalation. Up at the chest, open the collarbones. Exhale through the nose, mouth, or lips. Begin another round of 3-part inhale. Breathe in 1/3 of the way to the belly. Pause. 2/3 of the way to the rib cage. Pause there. Finish your inhalation, the top of the chest, open the collarbones, and then exhale, mouth, nose, or lips. Another round. Breathe in 1/3 of the way to the belly. Pause. 2/3 to the rib cage. Pause. Finish the inhalation. Exhale, mouth, nose, or lips. Two more rounds on your own. And with your last round, just feel for lingering in the exhalation. And then for our very last technique, Let breath return to a natural rhythm. And now that we have taken the time to engage in these practices that help to slow the breath down, we've opened up the lungs so the lungs can breathe a bit more fully. The body is beginning to adjust to stillness. So in this final practice, we're going to take some time to introduce a pause into the breath. We'll take time to pause at the top of the inhale and at the end of the exhale. And if any point in time you begin to feel breathless or like you're running out of breath, skip the pause and just return to breathing through the nose from the belly, perhaps with the light constriction at the back of your throat. So just take a natural breath in, empty it out, and then inhale to a count of 4. Pause, hold the breath, exhale for a count of 4. Pause, hold the breath out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale to a count of 4. Pause at the top, hold for a count of 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale to a count of 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold the breath out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Another round together. Inhale to a count of 4. Hold the breath in to a count of 4. Exhale, count of 4. Hold the breath out. 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more rounds on your own. 4 count box breath. When you finish your last round, take a slow, deep breath in through the nose from the belly. Stretch the inhale. Keep stretching out your inhale. Pause at the top. Exhale through the mouth. Ah. And then release, let go of all technique. Let go of any effort. And just let your body return to natural and restful breathing. Notice, take time to notice how your body feels after this evening's breath work. Notice how you're feeling physically, energetically. Notice the mind. And just notice any shift from the moment we began to this moment now. And then take some time to transition to Yoga Nidra. And perhaps you're already resting comfortably, no need to change your position, but If you feel like you could be 10% more comfortable, perhaps grabbing a blanket or taking some support underneath the back of your knees or your head. Maybe you want to put your eye pillow on now. So any last bit of adjustment so that these next 30 minutes of stillness can feel effortless. And then once you feel you are in that position, your body has taken the shape, you have all the support that you need, take a final cleansing breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth, nose, or lips. Ah. And then from this point onward, allow the body to remain still and allow the breath to settle to a natural, effortless rhythm. There's nothing to do, nothing that needs to be changed or fixed. The breath will continue on its own effortlessly as it does pretty much all day long. And the breath responds. The breath responds to the body and what the body is doing. The breath responds to the mind, the busyness, the agitation in the mind, which means the breath also responds to stillness. So simply by entering a still position, the breath will begin to slow down, but it will continue on its own. It might become very subtle. There might be moments of pause. And the breath will continue. And as the breath slows down and becomes more subtle, the body and the mind mirror the breath. Feel for points of contact below you, supporting your body. Back of the head, arms, your legs. Feel for support at the back of your spine. Sense the whole body breathing naturally and restfully. And begin to listen to the sound of my voice from the body. So the whole body listening. The ears soften as the space between the ears settles. Beginning to take rest as nourishment for the body, the mind, and your spirit. According to Ayurveda, the sister science to yoga, there is a concept called ojas, which I often speak of, earth and ojas. Ojas is your inner reserve of vitality, resilience, and your deep well-being. An ojas is built by what we take into our bodies, right? The nourishment. But just as we nourish our bodies with food, it's important to be able to fully digest, integrate, and to restore. So by slowing down, we build ojas. We shift into a mode of rest and digest, digesting our food from the day, and fully digesting all of the day's experiences, the moments, the interactions. taking time to fully integrate and restore all that we have experienced in the day, which is something we also do at night when we're sleeping. Our body does this for us. The brain does this for us. In this practice of yogic sleep, we are very much supporting that process and sort of taking a jump start on the evening and a good night's sleep. And when life moves quickly, or when it feels overwhelming, we can often have a little difficulty taking it all in, digesting it all, fully processing it. This is the time to slow down and to receive nourishment from rest. Feel the whole body breathing the breath naturally and restfully. And as you settle inward, you might begin to create from within you your inner sanctuary, this place within you that allows you to receive rest. This place within you that brings you joy, where you feel truly supported and at ease. This place within you could be your favorite place to visit, vacation spot. It can be exactly where you are right now. You can also make it up from your imagination. But take the time, beginning to create your inner sanctuary. Begin to feel for it so that you might now take rest. Resting in your inner sanctuary. And as you sense this support within you, as you sense your body in stillness, supported by the ground beneath you, feel for the breath right around the heart space. Feel for a slight opening on the inhale, a little softening on the exhale. Every breath, opening heart space just a bit more. Softening just a bit more. And as the heart space opens and expands, softens and settles, you might begin to feel for your intention, your sankalpa. Brings you to the practice. Is there something you would like to receive or to embody from these moments of nourishing rest? Whatever your intention might be, speak it as truth. I allow myself to rest and restore. I receive what I need. I am supported. Whatever your intention might be, connect to it, feel it, and then gently repeat it to yourself or out loud 3 times, like planting a seed. And as you plant the seed of your intention, water it with the breath. Breathe it in, and then let it settle. Trusting the practice and the inner wisdom of your heart. From the heart space, continue to follow the breath, whole body, beginning to open, beginning to soften with every inhale and with every exhale. Begin to follow the breath until you sense the whole body opening and expanding, reaching fullness with every inhale, and then softening, letting go, reaching a moment of emptiness at the end of every exhale. Continue to follow the breath, the inhale, the exhale, the opening, the letting go, the fullness, and the emptiness. Continue to follow until you sense your awareness observing the breath, your awareness feeling the breath, your awareness of the opening, the expansion, and the sensation of letting go, the emptiness at the end of each exhale, following the breath, observing the breath, becoming more aware with each cycle of breath, becoming more aware of your awareness. Now take the time to move your awareness, guide your awareness throughout the entire body, literally from head to toe, guiding your awareness to very specific parts of the body. And as your awareness moves, simply imagine each area of the body gently awakening and receiving the breath and receiving nourishment. Feel whole body breathing, awareness of the whole body breathing. Bring your attention to the right side of your body. Awareness of the right side body, breathing the breath. Bring your attention to the palm of your right hand. Aware of the breath in the palm of the right hand. Palm of the right hand receiving breath, receiving nourishment as you rest the palm of the right hand. Bring your awareness to the tip of your right thumb. Awareness to the tip of your index finger, right index finger. And the middle finger, ring finger, and the pinky. And then the back of the right hand, whole right hand, right wrist, the whole right arm, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, and the right shoulder blade, collarbone, and the space between, right side of the rib cage, lung, right side of the heart space, receiving nourishment, right side of the waist, low belly, low back, and the space between, right hip, whole right leg, knee, lower leg, ankle, top of the right foot, sole of the right foot, right big toe, second, third, fourth, fifth. Aware of the entire right side of the body, receiving the breath, receiving nourishment. Right side of the body, taking rest. Bring your awareness to the left side of the body, becoming aware of the left side body, breathing the breath. Beginning to allow left side of the body to receive the breath, your awareness, and nourishment. Taking rest. As you bring your awareness to the palm of your left hand and the tip of your left thumb, index finger, and the middle finger, ring finger, left pinky, back of the left hand, and the whole left hand, left wrist, and the left arm, forearm, elbow, upper arm, left shoulder blade, collarbone, and the space between, left side of the rib cage, left lung, left side of the heart space, receiving nourishment, taking rest, left side waist, low belly, low back, and the space between, left hip, and the whole left leg, upper thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, top of the left foot, sole of the left foot, left big toe, second, third, fourth, fifth. Feel for the entire left side of the body, aware of the left side of the body, receiving the breath, receiving nourishment, taking rest. Sense the back of your body as you bring your awareness to the back of the body. Feel for your attention, your awareness, in the bottoms of your feet, heels, and the back of your legs, calves, back of the knees, upper back thighs, the back of the hips, tip of the tailbone, and the entire back side of the spine, receiving nourishment, taking rest. Center of the low back, back of the rib cage, lungs, heart space, space between the shoulder blades, outer edges of the shoulder blades, and the back of your arms, upper arms, elbows, forearms, back of the wrists, hand, aware of the skin on the back of your neck, base of the skull, back of the head, from the crown of your head to the fingertips, to your toes. Feel for the entire backside of your body. Sense your awareness of the backside of the body, receiving the breath, receiving nourishment, taking rest. Bring your awareness to the front of the body, aware of the front side of the body, breathing the breath, taking rest. Center of the forehead, space between the eyebrows, temples, cheekbones, upper jaw, lower jaw, and the space between. Front side of your neck, space between the collarbones, front of the rib cage, lungs, heart space, front of the shoulders, in the inner arms, elbows, wrists, palms of your hands, aware of the belly, navel center, space above and below, front of the hips, front side of your legs, thighs, kneecaps, shins, tops of your feet, from the tips of your toes to your fingertips to the crown of your head, aware of the entire front side of the body, receiving the breath, taking nourishment, receiving rest. And then sense all sides of the body, front and back, left and right, all sides of the body as one. The space within you, the expanded space beyond you, the whole body receiving the breath, aware of whole body, breathing the breath, and through the breath, through stillness, taking rest, nourishing the whole body with your awareness of the breath, taking rest. Feel for the inhale, feel for the exhale, and through the breath, sense once again the feeling of fullness. Notice where within the body you feel this sense of fullness. And then notice the opposite. Like the end of the exhale, notice and feel for emptiness. Notice where within the body you sense emptiness. And just like each cycle of breath, notice both the fullness and the emptiness. Notice fullness and emptiness, all held through your awareness. These two sensations, opposite sensations, sensing both fullness and emptiness until you sense one spectrum of sensation, emptiness to fullness. And then notice in the body the feeling of containment, restriction. Notice holding containment in the body. And then notice the opposite, opening, expansion. Notice the feeling of openness and expansion. Notice where within the body you sense the feeling of openness and expansion. And then just like the breath, notice both these two opposite sensations of holding or containment, openness and expansion. Notice, allow for both to be held in your awareness, holding space for both until these two opposite sensations become one spectrum of sensation in the body, holding, containment to openness and expansion. And then sense other sensations. Notice what you're feeling in your body. Observe the mind and allow for one field of awareness, aware of the body, sensations in the body, aware of the mind, thoughts in the mind. Allow for all of this experience, all being held in one field of awareness, allowing for a state of integration, wholeness, all held by one field of awareness, aware of your experience of rest, and aware of your awareness of taking rest. And as the space within you, this field of awareness expands, you might begin to sense from within a warm golden light. Sense this golden light around the navel center. Feel for this golden light expanding with every inhale and spreading with every exhale. And sense this warm golden light emanating from the navel center, your body's intelligence, digesting, absorbing, transforming all of this experience. The inhale drawing in what feels nourishing, and the exhale releasing what is no longer needed. The body knows. Allow for the intelligence of the body as you sense this warm golden light emanating from the navel center and now expanding to the whole body, supporting the actions of rest and digest, supporting the nervous system with tend and befriend, and supporting your whole being, your spirit, with the energy of the breath. And then sense this golden light, warm and from within, and sense through this light a quiet process of integration and wholeness and awareness. Aware of your experience, aware of the breath, aware of receiving nourishment with each restful breath. Sense your body breathing and notice the pause, perhaps a very natural and longer pause that follows every cycle of breath. Allow your awareness to rest in that one moment of pause. And then when you are ready to slowly reawaken and to move forward from that moment of pause, do so with the breath. Slow, deep belly breath. And as you exhale, feel yourself returning home and returning inward to your intention Take some time to reconnect to your intention. Feel it through the breath and speak it once again. And listen. Listen for the words of your intention. Feel it in your body. And then return it home to the heart space and sense it. Breathing in and letting it go. Back to the heart space where you can now trust the journey that lies ahead. Take some time. If you'd like to take more time resting, feel free to do so. If you're ready to reawaken from the Yoga Nidra journey, give yourself a slow, deep belly breath. And breathe it all in. And let it go. Out through the mouth, nose, or lips. Letting go of the Yoga Nidra journey. Right. But feeling it as a part of you so that you can take it forward with you into the remainder of your evening and perhaps a good night of sleep and the week ahead. From my heart to yours, thank you for showing up, each one of you. I'm so grateful for Monday evenings and for each of you that shows up and allows me to share this practice with you. Namaste. I hope everybody has a wonderful week and the best night of sleep. Namaste.